Things have just taken a major turn for the Los Angeles Dodgers as an insider has just revealed the very interesting update on Kyle Tucker, where his current standpoint is with the Dodgers, which causes a very interesting set of dominoes to fall as many other names have now been linked to the Los Angeles Dodgers. We're going to be breaking it all down here in this video, ladies and gentlemen. Before we do jump into this video, though, if you haven't already, be sure to hit the sub button. Join us here on the channel. We're covering everything Dodgers, and his moves are getting very, very soon. We have a lot to cover. Videos every day on every single topic. You won't want to miss it, and it's also 100% free. But we need to jump in to what insider Bob Nightingale had to say in a most recent comment surrounding Kyle Tucker and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And going into it, he says, the Dodgers, with $87 million coming off the books, will keep folks honest in the Kyle Tucker sweepstakes, but probably won't be the high bidders, instead wanting to focus on shoring up their bullpen. Now, we've spoken about this. We've spoken about not just Kyle Tucker, but also the need in the bullpen for the Dodgers. But when you're looking at a guy like Kyle Tucker, and we've seen the original report from Alden Gonzalez, the Dodgers are still going to keep tabs. But even if they choose to be a team that are looking for an outfielder, they're not going to be the highest bidders on Kyle Tucker, which causes a few interesting thoughts of, could Kyle Tucker be too much money that the Dodgers would not want to favor over a certain amount of years? Causes a lot of other names to be thrown out there, and we're going to be jumping into a few of those here in this video. But as we do look at Kyle Tucker as a player, we know what he brings. He brings a very good bat, very good in the field, really exactly what the Dodgers need, but not their number one need, which is why this is really being put on the back burner. And I do hope, and this is something that has really been teetering in my mind, and I want to know what you guys think as well, is if the Dodgers are just kind of bluffing a bit on this idea of not being as in as people say they are on Kyle Tucker, or really on anybody outside of relievers in this year's free agency, so that they can try to not spend as much as what teams would have to try and overpay when knowing the Dodgers would be in on it. But batting, fielding, everything is pretty solid for Kyle Tucker, and really, as I mentioned, fits exactly what you would need. And when you're looking at how the depth chart and really free agent outlook comes to be for this Dodgers team, there's only a handful of names that really have that interest that a lot of teams would be looking for to fill that star outfielder role. Kyle Tucker, Kyle Schwarber, and Cody Bellinger. Three of those, in my opinion, the top three by a landslide. I mean, I feel like the market values really show that as well. Kyle Tucker being $10 million over Cody Bellinger and $16 over Kyle Schwarber's projected value. And if the Dodgers are looking for someone who can fill that role that they're looking for in a Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger and Kyle Schwarber do somewhat fill that, and they'll kind of jump into that here in a few moments. But looking at how the outfield currently stands, there are some holes. There's no doubt about that. Right now, Teoscar, Tommy Edman, and Andy Pages are the three that are currently in the depth chart. That doesn't count for any names that we've seen. Of course, Ryan Ward is here. He's on the MLB roster. He's a possible platoon option as a secondary. Not someone I would, at this point right now, really have jump into a starting role. You want one more big name out there, and whether that is any of the three I mentioned or others, we know it's the Dodgers. They're going to be going for the biggest fish possible, and whoever that is, there's going to need to be an upgrade in this outfield heading into next season, regardless of what happens. And it is something that over the coming days and coming weeks that there are going to be more names thrown out there, and I feel like this one right here in Kyle Schwarber is another one that you want to see. The fielding, one thing, is non-existent. That is one concern that there would be for Kyle Schwarber and the Dodgers. But if they're looking for the bat, I mean, Kyle Schwarber has it all. Not a guy that his average is going to be high. Not someone that will have really a major impact on the field, but if you want a guy that can not just get on base, that can swing the bat for a home run on command, it is him. The Dodgers have the power. They're not looking necessarily for that, but we do even see Kyle Schwarber. When he hits it, it will be an opportunity to have runners in scoring position. For a lineup that the Dodgers currently have, that's what they're looking for. A guy like Kyle Tucker can bring that, not near the amount that Kyle Schwarber can, but very specific instances, Kyle Schwarber could be there. Now, one big thing as well, he's not going to be affecting the outfield. You go and take a look at this. We've seen Kyle Schwarber play in the outfield before. You look at what he's done last season with the Phillies, 154 games as a DH, 8 in left field. He played the field 8 games with a -2 DRS in that time, and would be a -32 over the course of a season had he been playing it out fully in the outfield. So there's really no look at a guy like Kyle Schwarber, for at least the Dodgers in this instance, regarding fielding and being at least solid at the plate. Which leaves us one name really in specific, and I feel like we all have spoken about this man before. Opinions are changing, and it's Cody Bellinger. Last year, a 334 on base percentage, and as good as he has been these past couple of seasons, most notably last year with the Dodgers, he's a guy that fits the bill, solid in the outfield, really changed his kind of approach at the plate at 30 years old, a couple years into his career, has become a guy that more so now is swinging for contact, swinging to get on base, swinging to get runners in, not so much focusing on the power. And that is one thing that really helped him out with the Yankees, is that they had power around him. The same goes for the Dodgers now at this point, and with Cody Bellinger being able to play at first base and the outfield, similar to Kyle Schwarber, who played a handful of games at first, you're giving the opportunity for an older Freddie Freeman to sit a game if needed, but also help the outfield, help everything going on. So the fact that right now we're looking at a team which has a guy like Kyle Schwarber available, maybe not the best option, but available for that, a guy that we all have spoken about before, Cody Bellinger, who's still a free agent, still going to be, regardless of what goes on with Kyle Tucker and the rest of free agency, will be a very big candidate for the Dodgers. There's a lot of options now, but with what Bob Nightingale had to say about a change of plan regarding the Dodgers, and more so now not being a highest bidder, even if they do find themselves involved, more names are going into the conversation, and especially with the names that are here and more coming in the list, an older Starling Marte, Michael Conforto most recently with the Dodgers, and a few other names. The top 3 still remain in the sights of the Dodgers, and I want to know what you guys think. I'll send you off with this question. Which outfielder do you want on the Dodgers next season of that list? Kyle Tucker, Kyle Schwarber, or Cody Bellinger? Leave me a T for Tucker in the comments, a S for Schwarber, or a B for Bellinger if either of these 3 are on your cards, and let me know why. But that is all I have in this one, ladies and gentlemen. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button. If you want to stay up to date with everything on free agency, on the outfield, every single bit of news with this Dodgers team, you're in the right spot. Hit the sub button. It is 100% free. That's all I got. I'm signing out. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.